Saying, okay, welcome to Mom's Talking Shit podcast, Jennifer.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me today, ladies. I'm super excited to be here.
So you want to tell our listeners what you do, like, so we can start this convo?
Absolutely. So I am a certified professional life coach for moms, and more specifically moms of girls. And I like to work with moms on mindset in particular, because mindset is like everything. So, and we can talk more about that if you want, but I also am a mom of 3 girls, hence my specialty with girls, because I have a 10, a 13, and an almost 15-year-old. So I've been through it all. So, I consider myself the expert.
Is your 15-year-old ready to drive? Is she the one who's looking forward to it, or the one who wants no parts? Because I feel like, I'm going to sound old, kids nowadays, they either can't wait to have their license or they just don't even want to touch a car. Yeah, how's your daughter?
She's got another year, because she's turning 15 this month. So she's not quite 15. Actually, like next week, I think she's turning 15. So here in Arizona, I think it's 16. And I think she's really nervous because she unfortunately takes after me and has zero sense of direction. So like, I think she's a little nervous about driving because she's not going to know where she is ever.
Right.
Tell her. Turn on the GPS on your phone, and I swear every time I leave the house, I use my GPS. I swear I'm going the same place every day.
I do too, but I keep mine on Waze because it'll tell you, if there's a police officer or a red light camera.
Oh, that's smart. That's really smart.
I just let it run.
I love it. Yeah. No, I think she's just ready for a car. She just really wants a car. So,
right. Okay.
Whether she drives it or not, she just really wants a car. So,
but that's one step, because I have a stepson and he's just wants no parts of driving whatsoever. He's got the car. He doesn't want to touch it. So it's going to happen, and we're just waiting for it. So I was just curious, because everybody is a big extreme now with the cars. So, but she'll get her car.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been having some situations with, my almost 11-year-old. She'll be 11 at the end of this month. I don't know what's going on these last few months, but she is really mouthy and not nice, and it's hard not to react. I don't know how to react. So that's why I'm asking you, Jennifer, what do I do?
Yeah.
When this little girl is getting smart and rude and sassy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they all do. They all go through those phases. So as a coach, I work with women, moms in particular, one-on-one, and we really deep dive into this kind of stuff. But just, from what I'm hearing, I would say maybe, we need to figure out what's beneath all of that, right? Like if this is a new behavior, if she's not always been like this, something's going on. So I would suggest what I like to do with my girls, and I think this is a really good parenting tool, is to do a check-in. So just when it's just you and her, not in the middle of a tantrum or anything, not in the middle of her being mouthy, but when things are more calm, just kind of go to her and be like, hey, I've noticed that you seem a little bit more angry than you used to lately, and I wonder what's going on. I wonder if you would like to talk about it, or if there's anything I can help you with. So that way you're just really opening yourself up for that conversation, so you can find that connection between you two, and hopefully she'll kind of fill you in. But honestly, it's so hard with girls, and especially preteens and teenagers, because I don't know what's hormonal and what's environmental, what's social. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic, and so everything is really just it's so different right now. So it's so hard to pinpoint it. So I would just do the check-in, just see if you can figure out anything just by talking to her, see what's going on, you know.
I feel like they think that, they are older than they are. Like when I
Yeah.
was that age, I was 10,
Yeah.
I wasn't a tween. I was, going to be 11.
Mm.
This whole thing that they've created so that they can like get a pass. She
Oh
thinks,
yeah.
oh, I'm a tween. Well, no, but I know what you're saying and you're right. So I'm going to approach her and ask her like that, like, and see if she opens up, because I'm going to tell you, just a few months ago, I was her best friend. It just
Yeah.
comes just like that.
I know.
Now she hates me.
Uh, and she doesn't. And she doesn't. And this is the key for moms. I would say just remember it's not about you. It's totally not about you. It's totally about them. And sometimes we just have to like take a step back, right? We have to just be like, okay, this too will pass. You know, they all have their phases. And I mean, having 3 girls, I feel like I've been through all the phases. Except for the driving one, I'm dreading that.
You're coming up on it.
Yeah, and I think it's so important that we just try to not react and just remember to, respond in a way that's like, calm, and because really they're whether they mean to or not, they're pushing our buttons, and if we react to them, then they're kind of getting what they want. So I mean, there's so much to dig in and figure out what's going on, but I think that's the best place to start, is really just check in and see what's going on with them. And hopefully she'll open up, and if she doesn't, then maybe give it some time, maybe. But if you keep putting yourself out there, she knows that you're there for her. If you keep checking in and trying not to react too much, she knows that you're a safe place. And I think it actually, sometimes we like get down on ourselves as moms because we see all the bad stuff. But honestly, like, if they're not behaving that way with their friends and they're not behaving that way at school, it's actually a good sign, because they know you're safe. They know that they can kind of show their worst to you because you're a safe place for that. So I would try to take it as a compliment.
I get that.
So do you have any techniques for how to handle when your daughter, I have boys, but
Okay.
I know that teenage girls can be very intimidating. How do you handle when your child is mouthing off to you? And you really want to mouth off back, but you should stay calm because you're supposed to be setting that example. Do you have any techniques that can bring you back down to earth?
Yeah, right?
I'm writing them down. Go ahead.
Okay.
I would say definitely just taking a deep breath, reminding yourself this is not about you. This is totally about them. This doesn't mean you're a crappy mom, right? This doesn't mean that you failed and that you're just, never going to see that sweet child again. It's a temporary thing. Take a deep breath and maybe walk away. And if they're like raging at you and they're saying stuff that you're just not okay with, I would actually say that to them. I'd be like, you know what? I am not okay with the way you're talking to me right now. So I'm going to step into the other room because I don't want to react in a way that I don't feel good about. So I'm going to step in the other room and I'm going to take some deep breaths. And when you are ready to talk to me in a respectful way, I am more than happy to talk to you.
I think that's a very, very
I'm writing
good
it
advice.
down.
I've done that.
All down.
You're recording it, Stacey.
I know,
the podcast
But
episode.
listen, I need it for like visual, like.
Yeah,
she's going through it.
I'm obsessed with Post-it notes. So like, if you're not sure, like seriously, I have so many Post-it notes like everywhere. Like write reminders to yourself, like take a deep breath, find time to just relax. And my biggest thing, so like what I work with moms on is really finding ways to fill their own cup, finding ways to take care of themselves, because the better we're feeling, the more relaxed we're feeling, the happier we're feeling, even if we're like just, whatever. They're coming at us, and we're more prepared if we're taking care of our own. Self-care is huge. Like, it's such a buzzword, but it's so necessary. And if we are really taking care of ourselves, then we are going to do such a better job of dealing with these kids, especially when they're in the middle of some phase that we were like, I don't know where this came from, right? So that's what
Is
I
this The
encourage moms to
Exorcist?
do.
I'm not sure.
Right.
I don't know. Linda Blair comes out sometimes.
Yeah.
And then she tests my inner gangster because I just want to snatch her up. But I can't because she's my baby. And I love her so much. But when you say that I'm a safe place, I get that because you're right. I would go to school and, I would deal with this little girl who would be at home. And I would go to her school and they would be like, oh, she is a joy.
Yeah.
And I would say, oh, you don't see this? And they say, no, not Alex, And it was like, good. I knew that she knew how to act in public.
Yes.
And to people. That made me feel good. So,
absolutely. And if you think about it, where would you rather they react that way? Like, you'd rather it be with you where you can deal with it than at school where, then she's getting in trouble and you're getting phone calls from the principal or whatever. So I think you're doing a great job, Mama.
Yeah. Thanks.
So are you getting more, I guess, inquiries since the pandemic? Like how that's affecting kids? Because it's got to be affecting them in all different ways and affecting the households, because that's got to be part of it too. Stacy, she's not getting out of the house, going to the school and getting the break and being home a lot more. So I was just wondering if you're getting any questions about that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think moms are definitely struggling more right now. It's a lot harder, and it's a lot harder for us to just find that balance because we've got our kids. I mean, I don't know how it is for everyone, but it's like the kids are home now all the time. We're doing online schooling. So mine are like, they've been doing it a couple weeks now. So they're like kind of into the groove and they're doing okay. But like that first week was horrible. It was like, the internet is like
crashing.
It's crashing left and right, and everyone's having meltdowns. They can't figure out how to get in whatever class, and I'm trying to just manage all of it. So I mean, I think moms are having a hard time right now for sure. They're having a hard time balancing everything, especially working moms, to be able to find time to work as well as like manage their kids. And then there's, I mean, mom guilt's a real thing too. And so they're feeling guilty that they don't have more time to spend like helping their kids navigate all this new stuff. And kids are reacting because they're not seeing their friends in the same way. And so my oldest just started high school online. And I'm like, how crazy is that? Like, can you ladies imagine like your first day of high school being on a computer? Like, it's so weird. And
so your kids are in already? Your school season started? Okay. And
online.
Now was it mandatory online, or are you choosing to keep your kids in?
Mandatory online until after Labor Day, and then I believe they're reevaluating to see they're going to decide if it's safe for them to come back in person. And I know like everyone's so different. Some moms are like, no way are my kids going in person, and some moms are like, yeah, I need them out of the house.
Exactly. I think you're 100% right. It's one extreme or the other for sure.
Yeah.
We have a choice over here whether or not we kept them or sent them partial. We're going to keep our son home just because we're able to. So I figured it would lessen the amount of kids in the school for the people who are not able to and struggling. So
that's a good point.
Just going for it.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. But it was fun setting up a little mini classroom in our little IKEA trip. It was fun.
So I had a little bit of the experience of it during the last bit of the school year. And they were home for like, what, 2 months? 2-3 months. Oh my gosh. Well, okay, my daughter, so you say yours started high school, mine's starting middle school.
I have one that's starting middle school too. Yeah.
Like, man, they don't get to do the middle school experience. Like, that was
I
a big
know.
deal, you
I
know?
know. It's so
Um,
sad.
I don't
It
know. And
really
then high
is.
school, big
So
deal. But you
sad.
know what I mean? It's a stepping stone. You get to go in a certain order and the fifth
Mm-hmm.
grade graduation and all these little things that
Mm-hmm.
happen. So they
Yeah.
missed all these little cute things. But she did well. My daughter did well with fifth grade, at the end of the year. My son, no. He was doing kindergarten. He did not want any parts of it.
Yeah.
Had some, like, it was a big deal. Every night that I got home from work, I knew it was going to be a challenge getting him to do it.
Yeah. It's so, I specialize in girls, but like one thing I know about boys, it's so hard, especially when they're little, for them to sit still. I don't know how I don't know how moms of boys are doing it to keep them like in front of a computer for however many hours a day. So hats off to the teachers. I don't know how they're keeping them
They do it. They're
focused
like,
at
look, they
all.
do it voluntarily watching their YouTube stuff, God
Yeah.
forbid. But if it's schoolwork related, they're like,
Oh
that's
no.
boring.
Mm-mm. No,
I
that's a whole
agree.
nother ballgame.
But my son is very happy to not be going back to school. He's totally okay with doing homeschooling, and he
Yeah.
just doesn't care. Like, I know a lot,
Right.
like, your girls are so sad about it, and I have a lot of nieces that are, kind of disappointed, but he could care less. So that's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. And
Mhm.
everyone's so different.
But so you were saying about, self care. So we have a lot of moms that listen to our podcast. And, like, tell us some things that you do, to make sure that you stay good for your girls.
Yeah. Well, for me, and my husband will laugh about this, like I have to get enough sleep. First and foremost, I need to have enough sleep. So I definitely make sleep a priority, and I'm a good napper. So if I didn't get enough at night for whatever reason, if somebody came in the middle of the night and woke me up or whatever, I will find time during the day for a power nap. Um, and
Good
then
for you.
honestly, movement is really huge for me. So it's really hard now in Phoenix, Arizona to exercise outside because it's like 110.
Oof.
But and the gyms are closed. So it's been challenging, but for me, movement is huge because like any kind of movement is really great for us in terms of managing stress and even depression.
Exercise. It makes you feel
Yeah,
better. It really does.
it's
So
it's huge. Yeah.
your gyms aren't open right now either?
No.
Are yours,
No.
Stacy? Ours
Yes.
are. Yeah, okay. Ours are open now.
I don't go.
Okay, just curious. Well, I haven't been in months, and I went running yesterday with my sister for 2 miles, like out of nowhere. We'll walk, and it was a very slow run. But either way, I wanted to die. But it does. I felt so good.
Yeah.
I've been sleeping in later than I should have, so I got up earlier. I went out for a run. I came home, and I was like ready to hit the day. It's true. Mm-hmm.
It's huge, and it helps with memory. It helps with focus. It's really great, and it doesn't matter. Like you don't have to spend like 2 hours like pumping the iron at the gym or running on the treadmill. Like you can do any kind of movement is huge. Like if you can do a run walk, if you can do just take the dogs for a walk in the morning before it gets. I mean, here it's got to be like 5 a.m. before it gets blazing hot. But anything you can do is going to make you feel better. So, and sometimes moms, like we have to switch our mindset to, okay, like, we're always trying to lose weight. We're always trying to like slim down, whatever. Just focus on your mental health because really like once you work out, you're going to feel so much ready to take on whatever the day has in store for you. And, all the meltdowns and the tantrums coming your way, Stacy.
That's a good point. One of our ladies that we interviewed in the past, her name's Fran, the fitness or the Brooklyn trainer, and she was saying that it doesn't matter how much exercise or how long. It could be 15 minutes, but at least you're doing something to get you started to kind of get you going. So,
absolutely,
wanted to give a shout out to her. Hi,
Yeah,
Fran.
awesome. Yay, Fran. Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I really do try to eat healthy. I try to meditate when I find time. And I'm not talking about like a half an hour meditation. I'm talking like 5 minutes of just like focusing on my breath, tuning in. And for me, like meditation is a time to see where my thoughts are going. I don't know if you ladies have ever tried to meditate. It's like impossible. It's so hard to do.
No, but I
I
would love
haven't.
to.
It's
Me
I
too.
want
so
to.
hard. But what I have discovered is if I just try to meditate for 5 minutes. So what I do is I'll set my timer on my phone for 5 minutes and I'll just like try to like find a comfy place. Hopefully there's no, dogs barking or kids screaming. And really just focus on my breath. And what's funny about human beings is we can't focus. Like it's literally like it's almost impossible for us to focus. But what I love to do is notice where my thoughts are going and then bring them back, right? So our brain's going like all over the place. But if we bring it back to our breath and then just kind of try to focus on relaxing, it really is it's kind of rejuvenating, just like exercises, but in a lot more relaxed sort of way. But what I love to notice is, okay, these are the thoughts that I'm having, so this is what I need to like work on. Like if I'm having negative thoughts, if I'm having guilty thoughts, worrisome thoughts, whatever it is, that's where I need to like focus in that day and set an intention to, not, go down that spiral of thinking about that stuff.
I feel like you mentioned nap. Okay, let's say my mindset. Like I feel guilty if I take a nap. I don't know
Okay,
what it
so
is, but I swear if I take a nap and I'm not like, first of all, it takes me forever to fall asleep
oh,
because I'm one of them people like wake up if I hear anything, like,
yeah.
and you'll get to fall asleep and then something will wake you up and then that's it over with. But not feeling guilty that, oh, I could have been doing something else, or
Mm-hmm.
am I a bad mom because I'm falling asleep napping?
Yep.
So
See,
I never
and
nap.
those are, and yeah, yeah. And that's what we do as moms. We have all those like negative thoughts that are sabotaging us because really those thoughts don't do you any good, right? But if you can switch, if you can kind of pivot and you can say, hey, I'm going to just take a half an hour and I'm going to nap. And when I get up, I'm going to be like able to take on anything. And I'm going to be a much more pleasant mom. I'm going to be a much more pleasant wife. I'm going to be a much more productive worker, whatever it is. Like if you can give yourself permission to have that time and know that you're going to be better because of it, the guilt will go away.
That's good advice.
So
Tony, is your earphones messed up? Because I keep hearing this flickering.
can you hear me better this way?
Yes.
Let's play it like this. I'm having earbud issues. I went through two.
Hold on, wait a minute. Something's clicking now. Wait.
That's why I don't think it's.
Yeah, it's fine. Hold on.
I won't touch the table. Maybe it's the table.
Maybe
Anyhow.
it's the table. Okay.
No,
Let me
here.
see.
See, that's not me.
And is it me?
It's not me. I don't think.
You were on earlier too, and it was happening. And I didn't think it was me either, but it's all right. Anyhow, so when somebody reaches out to you, I guess for help because you basically help moms get through whatever kind of struggles that they're getting through. Can you kind of walk us through what the process or how they can reach out to you? Like, they reach out to you, and then what do you do? Do you call them every day? Like, how does the mom coach process work?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great question, Tony. Yes. So I always offer a complimentary free half an hour session. And that's just basically like a clarity call. It's like, so we can get clear on what that woman's mom's goals are and what she wants to work on. So it's different from therapy. Not a lot of people know this, but therapy works on kind of like where you were in the past and like healing from old wounds and that sort of thing. Now, coaching actually starts like where you are now and gets you to where you would really like to be. So that half an hour clarity call will kind of determine, what some of the goals are that mom wants to work on and whether we're a good fit and whether I'm going to be able to help her. So after that, if that mom decides to sign up to work for me, With me, sorry. We will meet once a week, and basically it's a 50-minute session over the phone, so you don't have to like do your hair or worry about putting on makeup. Unless that particular person really wants to be like face to face, we can do Zoom calls or whatever that would look like. But most of the moms just want to talk on the phone. It's easy, just they can, sometimes they do it in the car and, when they're waiting for their kid to get out of practice or whatever it is. So I try to make it super easy for moms. But yes, so once they sign up, it's once a month. My package is a 90-day package, and that includes unlimited like text and email support. So no, we don't typically talk daily, but if that mom needs, some extra support, we can schedule what I call like a laser call, where we'll just have an extra call in between sessions where we figure out, what she needs some extra help with at that moment. And then text me all the time. I don't care. I'm always on my phone. So, so I offer that as well. And then usually it's a 90-day program, and that's I found that's a really good amount of time for people to really see some serious change in results. So usually people feel like they're feeling much more they've been able to get to their goals in that period of time. So
that's
well, I know your tips are like giving me, I was able to breathe. I was breathing some during this.
Oh, good. Breathing is
like,
so good.
I'm not gonna be mad at her today. I'm gonna be calm.
They come all day. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so did that answer your question, or?
Oh, no, it did. You basically help people move forward, and you check in once a week, and you get a plan for them to help keep them on track. So I think that's
absolutely
neat. Now, where can everybody find you? Like, are you
so yeah, I don't know. My last name is spelled really weird. I should have like changed it professionally or something, but it's JenniferJakobsenLifeCoaching.com. But here's the trick. It's Jennifer Jakobsen. So it's not the usual spelling of Jakobsen, but it's JenniferJakobsenLifeCoaching.com. I'm also on Instagram at JJLifeCoaching. And you can find me on Facebook. I'm kind of everywhere. So yeah, and I would love to do a free session with any of your listeners. I have spots available right now in my coaching program. So if anyone wants to just check it out, that first half an hour session is totally free, no obligation. It's just us figuring out what that mom wants to improve on, and it's really fun. I mean, it's kind of like talking to your best friend, but everything's focused on you, right? You don't have to it's not a two-way street, it's a one-way street, but it's like totally a safe, supportive place for people to talk about whatever they want to work on, whatever they want to get better at in life.
And I think all of us moms can use that.
I want a session. Like, I want that free session.
Yay!
Get a website.
I want help. I think just like I'm not sure if all moms feel this way, but every day I just want to like try to improve myself as a mom. Just to do something, because we feel like every day that we're doing it wrong just so much. So I'm open to change, and I know that I'm not above change. So yeah, I want a free session.
Yeah, no, and everyone can change, and that's like those thoughts that you're having are the blocks that are keeping you from moving forward. So like we dive in and we look at those thoughts, and then once you figure out what thoughts are like getting in your way, you know what I mean? Those thoughts that are like making you feel like crap, if you can get in and figure out what those are and switch them to be more positive and happy, you get more confidence, you get more joy, and then you're modeling like, oh my gosh, you're modeling so many great things for your daughters and even your sons, because you're happy and you're showing confidence, you're showing a strong, powerful mom instead of somebody who's like, oh my God, I'm doing this all wrong. What's wrong with me? So
yeah, because that
really
can't
powerful.
Be like, to a kid, that's got to be like, oh, that's not stable.
Yeah, it's really life changing. And let me tell you, I mean, I have, I was a therapist before. I was a psychotherapist. I have done all the schooling. I've done all the, self-improvement books and all that. I've done it all. So don't make the same mistake I did. Don't wait, right? Like I've done all the work. I've made all the mistakes. So, let me help you to not have to go through all that stuff, right? Like
yes, hit her up, ladies. Hit her up. She is something missing. I'm gonna hit her up because I believe in her. I want to talk to her. So you ladies should definitely hit up Miss Jennifer Jakobsen, Jakobsen, right?
Yep.
She's on. We're gonna put you out on our Instagram so that our ladies and listeners can listen to you and hit you out. Because I think that you got it. Because like I want to talk. You make me feel comfortable just speaking with you in this half an hour.
Thank you, Stacy.
So much, Jennifer, for being on the show. We really appreciate it. And we hope maybe we can have you on again one day.
I would love that.
Maybe a follow-up. Stacy.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Charlie?
I said maybe
a follow-up
with Stacy and how things are going or something.
That would be awesome. Yes.
It would be good.
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
A big possibility. Yes. We're going to do this session and see how it goes.
Wonderful.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for being on our show.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been fun.
It was so much fun. And our listeners, they can find us on YouTube at Mom's Talking Shit Podcast and on Instagram at Mom's Talking Shit Podcast. And thanks for being on and have a great day.
You too, ladies. Bye.
Bye.